God, I'm so excited for football. Let's go! With the NFL season kickoff coming up literally tomorrow, as of the time I'm recording this, I figured what better way to start off the season than to make a prediction tier list on what teams I think will be good and what teams I think will be bad. Plus, I don't have any other content for you guys as of right now because I'm still working on something that I have been working on for a very long time that has been just taking a lot of work, basically. But that's besides the point. We're going to make an NFL tier list. I'm going to go as quick as I possibly can. This is meant to stir up debates because your opinions are wrong, my opinions are right. Let's get it going. I think the Cardinals are a borderline playoff team, in my opinion. I think they're really good. They're building towards something. I'll say that. They are building towards an actual team. But the problem is I do not like Cliff Kingsbury at all. He can't get anything done. Defensively, they have a really struggling secondary. And I just don't think Kyler is it, to be honest with you. I really don't. Falcons, this team is actual dog shit. The Ravens, on the same wavelength as the Cardinals. I think the Ravens have more of a potential to be a playoff contender, though. And go like into a deep playoff run. I'm going to keep them at high B tier, though. I think defensively, they did improve a lot in the draft. Drafting Kyle Hamilton, going to play him at corner. It's going to be really nice for them. But still, dude, I mean, Rashad Bateman's your number one guy. And yes, he could absolutely have a pop-off season. I'm hoping he does and that he proves me wrong. But I just don't trust that offensive threat that they have. They don't have the best run game. I mean, they still have Lamar Jackson if he stays healthy. That's another thing, too, about this team. They got to stay healthy. But you can't really count the Ravens out. Bills. This is obvious. They're Super Bowl contenders, S-tier team. I do feel a little bit bad for the Bills because I want the Bills to do really good. But they are the most overhyped team in the NFL right now. And everyone is expecting them to go to the Bowl this year. So if they don't live up to the hype, it's going to really hurt. It's going to really hurt a lot of their confidence, I feel like. Carolina, dude, low-key, I'm going to put this team at low B. I really am. I think Baker was the piece that they needed to make this team better. That being said, defensively, they still ain't it. They just lost Stephon Gilmore. They don't have very good pass rush. Their secondary is going to get torched everywhere they go. But offensively, if CMC can stay healthy, this team can actually put up numbers and compete with some of these other caliber teams. Like I think the Panthers are able, at least in the regular season, to put up fights against the Cardinals, definitely against the Falcons, maybe not the Ravens. They're not going to be a playoff team, though. I will say that. They're definitely not going to be a playoff team, but I think they're going to be decent. Bears, this team is dog. Bengals, this is a S-tier team. Browns, this might be a controversial pick, but like I said, it doesn't matter because this is my opinion. The Browns are not going to be a good team this year, dude. Please stop overhyped. This team is overhyped. They are barely going to squeak out 6 to 7 wins, I think. And they're definitely not making the playoffs. Deshaun Watson's out for half the season. That hurts. You can't deny the fact that that hurts them. Nick Chubb is still great, but that O-line ain't it. We all know that O-line ain't it. Defensively, they are very talented. It's going to be a Steelers situation, right? Defensively, they are extremely talented. They're going to put up insane numbers when it comes to yards per game on teams defensively. They're going to kill you in the secondary with Denzel Ward. Myles Garrett's just going to get to your quarterback over and over and over again until he can't breathe. Like, defensively, they're great. But, I mean, we saw this last year with the Saints. Yes, defense does win championships, but if your offense still can't back up the defense by just at least giving them a break, getting a field goal or a touchdown or something, if you can't put up points, you're not going to win games. I mean, look at this. The Saints are the Saints are a perfect example. Yes, the defense is a top 5 defense in the league. Yes, their defense was incredible, allowed very few rushing yards. We couldn't put up points on offense, and we lost a lot of games because of that. So, you know, you got to still have a decent offense in order to win games. That's why I think the Browns are going to suck. Cowboys, again, another controversial pick here. This team is so overhyped, it's not even funny. It is not even funny. Mike McCarthy is a god-awful coach. I don't care what anyone says. Mike McCarthy is a terrible coach. Dak Prescott, there are times when Dak Prescott looks incredible and unstoppable. And there are times when Dak Prescott looks like he belongs as a backup right behind Jacoby Brissett. Zeke is not going to be a good running back. he is starting to fall off heavy, and he's going to struggle to put up yards. Broncos, I'm going to keep him in A tier. I want to put him in S tier, but I'm going to keep him in A tier. Russ was a huge pickup. Like, let's be real. Russ was incredible for the Broncos. Broncos country, let's ride. The Lions, dude, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I really am. I think the Lions are a better team than the Browns. I'm going to say it. I'm going to be the first one to say it. You heard it here first. Aiden Hutchinson looks like a major problem in this league. He's going to be unstoppable. Did y'all see what he was doing in the preseason games? It is unbelievable what that kid is capable of doing. Not to mention, offensively, so much young talent. Yes, it all comes down to if Jared Goff's going to perform, and he might not perform because it is Jared Goff, but you can just check down the ball to these insanely talented wide receivers in Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams. When he comes back, he's going to be in contention for Rookie of the Year. DeAndre Swift is still a fantastic running back. TJ Hawkinson's still there. We all know how good of a tight end he is. I think this team is very, very underrated. I'm excited to see what this Lions team can do. And yes, I do think they're better than the Browns. Come at me. Packers. Again, another controversial pick. I think the Packers are worse than the Broncos this year. I do think they're a playoff contender team for sure and can make a deep run, but I don't think they're a Super Bowl contending team. I'm worried for the Packers. I am. Aaron Rodgers, yes, 2-time MVP. He can make anyone look good. Don't get me wrong. But even though he can make anyone look good, God, does his team suck offensively. Not to mention, he is hating everyone at training camp right now. He's talking about how many players he does not like to throw to as a wide receiver. He's starting to fall off with Robert Tonyan, who's his main tight end. Yes, defensively, they still look incredible. Defense wins championships, but if your offense can't produce, you're gonna suck. And with Allen Lazard as your number one guy, the Texans, the Colts, I think the Colts are... People are saying the Colts are overhyped. I think that's extreme false. I think that's extremely not true. The Colts are going to be good this year, dude. I mean, they already have Jonathan Taylor, who is a generational running back, right? And your game plan is to run the ball, yes. But bringing in Matt Ryan was quintessential for this team. Because you already had an insanely good team last year, but Carson Wentz threw that shit down the drain. Now that you bring in Matt Ryan, dude, you can go play action to Michael Pittman. Like, the wide receivers still aren't bad at all. Mo Alley Cox, decent tight end. They have an insanely good blocking in the passing and the run game because they have one of the best O-lines in the game. But Jonathan Taylor's going to feast, and Matt Ryan's going to have so much time in the world, and we already know he's an MVP caliber quarterback. And defensively, dude, they got DeForest Buckner. They got Shaq Leonard. They just picked up Stephon Gilmore in the backfield. I mean, what more do I got to say about this team? How could this team... The only reason I don't think that they're S-tier bowl contenders is simply because they just don't have as much talent as teams like the Bengals or the Bills. I think they're going to be better than the Broncos. I really do. I think the Colts are not overrated. People who say they're overrated, you don't know football. You lost your damn. Jacksonville... Jacksonville's weird, dude. I don't think this team's going to be trashed here, but they're not going to be good. They're going to be like bottom of C tier, like scraping out 5 wins. Kansas City. I swear to God, if another person says that this team is going to be 4th in their division and they are overrated right now, I'm going to lose my shit. Andy Reid is one of, if not the best coach to ever coach football. And you can never count out him with the combination of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. You can never count them out. Ever. Ever. I don't care what anyone says. You cannot count out this Chiefs team if you still have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid. Not to mention, let's keep this in mind too. Let's not forget, the main argument for this team being 4th in the division, not being good, is because they have a quote-unquote bad defense. Yes. In the AFC, they are one of the weakest defenses in the AFC, and they are the weakest defense in their division. But, dude, they still have one of the best D-lines in the league right now. They still have Chris Jones. They still have Frank Clark. Derek Nandy. Hello, guys. And they picked up Karl Loftus in the draft, who I think could have a chance of winning Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. Karl Loftus is going to be crazy good for them. He's an insane edge rusher. And then in their backfield, they still have Justin Reed and L'Jarius Sneed. Like, how could you say this defense is like terrible. It's not terrible. It's still decent. Yes, they did lose Tyreek Hill, but it doesn't matter because, like I said, you still have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid. And Juju, I think, is going to have a great year. Chargers, again, maybe another controversial pick. I'm putting the Chargers in S tier. I am. And I think they're borderline better than the Chiefs, but I'm going to keep them behind the Chiefs just to be safe. Dude, I mean, what is there not to like about this Chargers team? They did so much in the offseason to make them look so much better. And on pen and paper, they look like an unstoppable powerhouse. Only reason I'm considering putting them atop of A tier is because of Brandon Staley. I think Brandon Staley is a terrible head coach. Rams, defending Super Bowl champions. In fact, I think they're better than the Bengals, to be honest. Raiders. I think the Raiders are a playoff contending team and have a chance to go deep into the playoffs. Raiders have a lot of question marks, but also so much upside. They just have a super tough division, though, and I don't really know how it's going to go for them. If I had to predict it, I got the Chargers winning that division, with the Chiefs coming in second and the Broncos coming in third. As good as the Raiders look, I just think something's going to flop with them. I don't know, man. It's weird because they have so much talent. They fix all their holes, but they're in this division where it's like you don't know what's going to happen. And on pen and paper, I just see these three teams being way better than the Raiders. So, like I said, I think they're still going to be good. It's just, we're going to have to see. That's all it comes down to. The Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to be sneaky good this year. And I'm going to keep them bottom of A tier. I don't think they're better than any of these teams, but I do think they're better than, like, the Dolphins are way better. Are they better than the Ravens? Yes, I do. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. I think the Dolphins are better than the Ravens. They did a lot of really good in the offseason. They're going to be really sneaky good. The problem is you're in the same division as the Bills, so it's going to be tough to actually show how good your team is going to be when you got to play the Bills twice. I think Tua has a ton of upside and a ton of potential, and now that he has that O-line to finally protect him and the weapons to throw to, I think Tua is going to have a breakout season this year. Like, I could see them making a playoff appearance and maybe winning a game, but again, in this vicious AFC, having to play the Bills twice too, it's gonna be tough, dude. It's gonna be tough. So we're gonna have to see with the Dolphins. It all comes down to how Tua does. Vikings are a weird one again. I'm gonna be honest, I think the Vikings are better than all these teams in B tier. I think they're better than the Ravens, Cardinals, Cowboys, Panthers for sure. I'm gonna put the Vikings higher than the Dolphins, and I think the Vikings have a playoff berth chance, maybe winning a playoff game as well. It's not that far off to say that they could win that division. As good as the Packers are defensively, and you still have Aaron Rodgers, dude, I mean, think about it. This offense for the Vikings is one of the best offenses on paper in the NFL. Yes, I know it's Kirk Cousins, but you got to think, as much as we all like to dog on Kirk Cousins, hashtag Kirk get dogged on gang, he's still a pretty solid quarterback. I mean, just listen to these stats last season. 66% completion on 4,000 passing yards, had 33 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions with 103 passing rating. That's pretty good. Those are really good starting quarterback stats, especially when you got Jay Jettas and Adam Thielen, and you still have KJ Osborne on your slot, by the way, and they also picked up Jalen Reagor in that trade. Dude, this offense is disgustingly good, and if Dalvin Cook can manage to stay healthy, on pen and paper, it's almost unstoppable. It really is. And so the fact that they picked up some of these key role players for defense, and now their defense might actually stand a fighting chance, dude, it's not far off to say that they could win that division and potentially go to the playoffs and maybe win a playoff game. I don't think they're going to have a super deep run, but I think they're going to be good for sure. I think the Pats are probably the best regular season, like, B tier team you're going to get here. The Pats are weird because obviously the Pats have gone to the playoffs for God knows how long now. They've had a winning record for God knows how long now. But I don't think Mac Jones is that guy. He's a system quarterback, and when it comes to crunch time, having to clutch up and make plays, he can't do it. He chokes under pressure hard. And they don't have a ton of threats offensively. They did lose a lot defensively. Obviously, J.C. Jackson was a huge loss, and Devin McCourty retired. All right, this is the most controversial pick, and I know that people are going to flame me for this, and I don't know why people keep doing this, but I don't care because how could you not see it the way I see it? I think the Saints are a bowl contender, and I think that they're better than every single one of these teams in the A tier. They're not better than the Chargers, though, so they are like bottom of the S tier. But I think they're better than every single one of these teams in the A tier. If I hear another motherfucker say that Jameis Winston is not our guy, and that Jameis Winston is a question mark, and that Jameis Winston this, Jameis Winston that, I'm going to lose my... I really am. We're talking about the same Jameis Winston who was first overall Heisman winner quarterback, threw for the most touchdowns in 2019, and last season still managed to put up 1,000 yards and 14 TDs on 102 passing rating, 59% completion in just 7 games. How are you going to tell me that Jameis Winston is not good? And he's a question mark. I don't understand why people keep giving him flack and why people keep giving the Saints flack. And if any of you have been seeing the training camp footage and what the coaches have been saying about Jameis, the injury is not a concern, and this man looks stud-tafic. And that's just Jameis. Let's get to the rest of the team now. Alvin Kamara, who is probably not going to get suspended and actually going to play football. One of the best, if not a top 5 running back in the league. Michael Thomas is coming back. If he stays healthy, god damn. We're talking about the same Michael Thomas who is one of the best wide receivers in the league. Picking up Jarvis Landry, that is incredible for us. Chris Olave in contention for Rookie of the Year. Marquez Callaway, who's still playing at our slot as our our 4th guy. Still a fantastic player. Had the most receiving yards for our team last year. Taysom Hill at tight end. My opinion, a top 10 tight end in the league. Now that he gets to focus and hone those skills at tight end, we still have a solid O-line. Don't even get me started on the defense because defensively, we're top 5 in the league. Kind of sucks we did lose CJ, but we weren't going to pay him. So that is what it is. And Marcus May being an idiot, who knows if he's going to play. Hopefully he does. The only thing that the Saints have to worry about is injury. That's literally it. If we manage to stay healthy, we're gonna go to the playoffs. We're gonna go to the playoffs. I think the Giants are better than the Texans. I think they're worse than the Bears, though. There's not much to say about the Giants. The Jets, I'm gonna put them in the bottom of D, or the top of D. Eagles, again, another controversial pick here. I'm putting the Eagles above the Broncos. I don't know if I can put them above the Colts, though, but they are going to be playoff contenders, deep run potentials. Jalen Hurts season, he's going to blow up. Steelers are weird for me because it's the same as the Pats, where they haven't missed the playoffs in God knows how long, and they've had a winning record for God knows how long. But Mitch Trubisky is your quarterback. Are they going to be better than the Panthers? Yes, I do think so, because the Panthers have a lot of question marks behind them. Are they going to be better than the Cowboys? No, I don't think they're going to be better than the Cowboys. Seahawks is the worst team in the NFL. It's close between the Seahawks and the Texans. I think they're better than the Dolphins. I think they're better than the Vikings. They're better than the Packers. Are they better than the Raiders? I'm gonna go yes on the Raiders. You know what? I'm gonna go yes on the Broncos too. But they're not gonna be better than the Eagles. The Bucks. I think the Bucks are bottom of S tier. Are they better than the Saints? On pen and paper, dude. Actually, yeah. I'm gonna go Bucks better than the Saints. Definitely not better than the Chargers, though. It's still Tom Brady. You can't ever count him out. And, I mean, they're pulling a Rams where they just have good talent overall, but they're all old, so we're gonna have to see if they regress or not. And their defense is still one of the best in the league, so as long as their defense keeps doing what it's doing, and these guys on offense don't show their age, and Chris Godwin comes back as healthy as ever, which he will, and I'm excited for him for fantasy. I think the Bucks are still a Super Bowl contending team. I'm gonna put the Titans. Let's put them in A tier. And let's think about it. They're definitely better than all these teams in B tier. Oops. Are they better than the Dolphins, though? Dude, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I don't think they are. I don't think they're better than the Dolphins. Yes, they do have Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry's getting older and he's coming off a major injury. And we saw how poorly he played in the playoff divisional game against the Bengals. It's going to be tough for Derrick Henry, especially since he's going to be the entire workload because Robert Woods is your number one and then you have Treylon Burks. But I just don't see it working out for them offensively because Tannehill's still your quarterback and that O-line is still very questionable, like very, very questionable. Mike Vrabel, reigning coach of the year, he's going to make it work. He made it work last year with a horrible team and they made it to the playoffs, number one seed. So obviously they're going to be good. I just don't know if they're going to be better than any of these teams in A tier. Maybe better than the Dolphins, but I don't think they're going to be better than the Vikings. I don't think they're going to be better. Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. And then the Commies, bottom of C tier, they're definitely better than all these teams in the trash tier. But, I mean, it's literally a toss-up between these two teams, and they're definitely not better than the Browns. There's nothing exciting about the Commies. That is my predictions for the 2022-2023 NFL season. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, except I'm going to read these comments and not give a you're all wrong and stay mad.